fight stop. Tactically the waves is soften. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghostly silence, no one on endless replay. Machines against the spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a brave beneath the cradle sky. The footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Tactically the waves is soften. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghostly silence, no one on endless replay. Machines against the spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a brave beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Tactically the waves is soften. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghostly silence, no one on endless replay. Machines against the spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a brave beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Tactically the waves is soften. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghostly silence, no one on endless replay. Machines against the spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a brave beneath the cradle sky. The footsteps
has OCD. That's fine. What do you do? Basically.
Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to kick away, fist of fate. Still grows all the echo fade away. Ghost lay silent, though I'm on endless replay. Machine begins to spread as locked on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. Sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront lines. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to kick away, fist of fate. Still grows all the echo fade away. Ghost lay silent, though I'm on endless replay. Machine begins to spread as locked on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. Sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront lines. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to kick away, fist of fate. Still grows all the echo fade away. Ghost lay silent, though I'm on endless replay. Machine begins to spread as locked on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. Sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us to the battlefront lines. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to kick away, fist of fate. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to take away your suffering. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghosts lay silent, though I want endless regret. Machine begins to spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us till the battlefield lies. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to take away your suffering. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghosts lay silent, though I want endless regret. Machine begins to spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us till the battlefield lies. So now we march till dawn. Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is no end. When will this fight stop? Time to take away your suffering. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghosts lay silent, though I want endless regret. Machine begins to spread as long on hunting us down. Standing on a break beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked but we push on. The light shines guiding us till the battlefield lies. So now we march till dawn. stop, tactic awaits and suffer. Still grows all the echoes fade away. Ghosts lay silent, though I'm on endless replay. Machines against the spreaders, locked on hunting us down. Standing on a spray beneath the cradle skies. The footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes but no voices land. The field burns red, we take the next step. Into the fire, into the flames, we rise again. We take another step. We take another step. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate on war. We carve our fate on war. The sky is cracked, but we push on. The light shines, guiding us till the battlefront lines. So now we march till dawn.
God Valley, the God Valley incident. No, I saw something.
Always lose 2K viewers. I mean, whatever.
Silver Veil anime crash course. .50 caliber nut kicker. Why would I do that? I remember this the correct way. And then everybody started doing it. This show needs to. Nintendo always hated DVDs. Covered by onions and garlic. Zootopia Cannibal. Okay, now this I have to see.
Zootopia is doomed.
Oh,
Yeah, though you might look at this happy-go-lucky city of Disney animal people and think it's a utopia, it's not. If a place like this actually existed scientifically, it would be on the brink of collapse without enough food, and its people might have to resort to the darkest option.
Cannibalism.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory, the show that would absolutely be an anthropomorphized St. Bernard. I'll bring you the subscribe button when you're trapped up on the mountain and in dire need of help. Go on, take it, take it! So today we're pulling a bit of a Disney, friends, and how is that? Well, it's because after 9 long years, we're finally getting to a sequel to one of our biggest theories ever, Zootopia. Yeah, along with Disney revisiting this world with its sequel, I wanted to make another theory about it. And fun fact, but that first Zootopia theory is legit the 5th most viewed video on this entire channel. And let's just say that 2016 thumbnails were something else, huh? In case you never got this one on your radar, or it's just been a while, Zootopia is the story of Judy Hopps, an anthropomorphic rabbit from a small town who has big dreams of becoming the first rabbit police officer in Zootopia, a large city where all sorts of animals live in harmony. Throughout the film, she ends up forming an unlikely partnership with Nick Wilde, a red fox and one of the city's resident con men. And together they unravel a massive conspiracy and bust a government-led cabal out to frame all predators as violent. They then save the city and tons of innocent people and end the film as official partners on the Zootopia police force. The film was surprisingly great, one of my personal favorites from the House of Mouse in the last decade, and it's one of the internet's favorites too. Yeah, this one spawned a lot of fan fiction, like a lot of fan fiction. Too much, some would say. Enough that Disney sat down to make some officially sanctioned fan fiction with the sequel because, hey, they want more money. But you know what? Where some might see a cynical cash grab sequel, I see an opportunity to dive back into an interesting world with an old school theory. See, if you sit down and look at the world of Zootopia, how the city is built, how its people interact, and how you'd even think about supplying such a diverse range of animals, the city is sitting on the edge of a crisis and they don't even realize it. Yeah, friends, this is as classic a film theory as film theory can be. Looking at this fun, creative, silly fictional world and taking it as seriously and scientifically as possible. And at the other end of that, well, Zootopia is doomed. And the only thing that might save it from its biggest problems? Cannibalism. Well, kind of. Man, science-y and a dark Disney theory? You're getting a two for loyal theorists. So without further ado, let's do further and hop into why Zootopia is doomed. Reason number 1, weather modification. Let's kick off this indictment by hopping into our police chopper and getting an aerial view of the entire city these films take place in, shall we? The main portion of Zootopia is broken up into 4 sections, or districts. To the west, you have the hot and humid rainforest district. To the east, you have the arid Sahara Square and Arctic Tundra Town. And finally, in the middle, you have Savannah Central, the actual city part of the city, where most of the first movie's plot takes place. Now, at first, having all of these diverse habitats all packed into one area makes perfect sense from a world-building perspective. I mean, if I were trying to design a fantastical city built for all sorts of mammals, from rabbits and jaguars to camels and polar bears, this is exactly where I'd land. It's only natural, pun intended, that there would be different ecosystems for the different citizens. It's creative and fun. But the how they would make this happen would be a disaster. Near the beginning of the movie, when Judy first travels to Zootopia, we see her go on a bit of a train tour across the city's different districts. Outside of the city, we see a temperate climate, similar to the American Midwest, maybe something closer to the Pacific Northwest. But as Judy enters the city, we first see Sahara Square before passing into Tundra Town. And as we make that transition, we get a look at this. This is what is known as the Climate Wall, a huge, skyscraper-high array of heaters that blows hot air into Sahara Square while simultaneously blasting cold air into Tundra Town. And later in that same scene, when Judy's train moves into the Rainforest District, we see that the rain in this rainforest is actually mostly caused by giant sprinklers hidden up in the trees. Of course, these biomes recreate a lot of the natural habitats of the peoples of Zootopia, so they can feel comfortable in the city. They can wear what makes them feel natural, and nothing would make them feel more natural than a watch from Holtzkern, our partner for today's theory. So a good watch can complete any outfit, and I do genuinely love wearing them, but finding one that's both classy and affordable, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. But thankfully, that's where Holtzkern comes in clutch. Holtzkern makes watches and jewelry for both men and women, and I mean, just look at this. It's gorgeous. I got their limited edition Celtic Warden walnut watch, and this might be the prettiest watch I've ever owned. Holtzkern is actually German for wood core, and that makes sense with their watches. Each and every one is either made out of or incorporates wood, so each and every one is unique. All of the watches also incorporate natural materials like pearls, stone, gems, and even leaves, each to make a beautiful piece that'll make you stop and say,
Ooh, that's pretty.
But they don't just make watches, they also make jewelry like rings, necklaces, bracelets, and earrings, all with the same care, attention, and quality as the watches. I'm not usually a jewelry guy, but stuff like their bodyguard necklace might make me change my mind. Their watches and jewelry are also made in small quantities. That means that each drop is unique, and they are responsibly and ethically produced. And they offer free worldwide shipping with your stuff typically showing up in just 5 to 9 business days. And for people like me in the US, they've already taken care of custom fees and tariff costs, so you won't get a surprise bill. And for Holtzkern, Black Friday lasts all week. From November 17th to December 1st, they're having their biggest sale ever, and you can get up to 30% off by clicking our link in the description. This deal won't last forever, so this is the perfect opportunity to get a gift for yourself or that's someone special in your life for the holidays. Thanks again to Holtzkern for sponsoring this theory, but let's hop back into Zootopia. Now, all of those little details are, like I said, creative and fun, but they also tell us something important. None of these districts are natural. None of them are supposed to be here. They're all man-made. or mammal-made, I guess? By showing us the how of these landscapes, we're being told that the land of Zootopia isn't a magical world where deserts and rainforests and the Arctic all converge. No, instead, it looks like Zootopia, and the people who made it have gone out of their way to artificially carve out all of these little ecosystems to create the perfect environments for their inhabitants and their needs. On the one hand, you gotta give the engineers who made this happen some props. That takes some serious technological innovation to pull off, something that we are nowhere near able to do to this degree, pun intended, in our own real world. But as you can imagine, messing with the natural climate of an ecosystem this much isn't gonna come without some drawbacks. Like, some major drawbacks. And all of that meddling with nature would only make life for all Zootopians much, much worse. Let's start off with the climate wall, shall we? Honestly, inspired idea, but just think for a second about how something like this would actually function. I tried to dig up any information about the actual mechanics of the climate wall, but all I could find was this infographic explaining that it has heaters on one side and snowblowers on the other. It's very helpful. So what we're gonna do here is assume that this thing works a little bit like a refrigerator. Now, this is very simplified, but your fridge doesn't actually just make things cold. It actually sucks the heat out of the stuff inside and then dissipates that heat out of the back. So it's cold on one side and warm on the other. It kind of sounds like the climate wall, right? Well, first things first here, that would not be great because it would use a huge amount of energy, like a massive amount. Just one refrigerator can account for anywhere between 7 to 20% of a household's entire electricity consumption. They take a lot of power to run, and that's just one human-sized one. Imagine scaling that up to the size of several buildings. Now, sure, that would have a terrible impact on the environment just from trying to generate that much electricity, but even worse for this environment? Well, think about it. Part of the purpose of the climate wall is to blast hot air into Sahara Square. But do you know what happens to hot air, loyal theorists? It rises. When air heats up, it expands, making it less dense than the air around it, and thus it floats. That's actually how hot air balloons work. But that also means that the air in Sahara Square would be hotter than all of the air around it, and it would literally be sucked into the sky, creating a little bit of a vacuum effect on the ground. And that means that the air from the surrounding areas, like Tundra Town, Savannah Central, and the southeast would flood in, creating massive wind and dust storms. That massive upswell of wind would also carry a lot of the sand and dust from Sahara Square into the sky, and what goes up must come down. This would bathe not only Sahara Square, but all of Zootopia in a continuous cloud of sand. And if you believe that it would just come back down on Sahara Square and nothing else, think again. IRL, millions of tons of sand from the actual Sahara Desert are carried by the wind over to the Americas each year. So going over a few city blocks, that would be nothing. In the end, this excess sand would pollute water, damage machinery and windows, and even cause eye and lung problems for the most vulnerable Zootopians. And even worse, but when that warm air from the desert meets the cold air coming from Tundra Town, that would create what is known as a front. And depending on how those two masses of air would interact with each other, that could create a whole host of weather conditions that could change in the blink of an eye. Think thunderstorms, hailstorms, and even tornadoes. Maybe trying to squeeze deserts and the Arctic next to each other was kind of a bad idea. And all of that is without mentioning the Rainforest District's sprinklers and their flood of problems. Literally. See, you can't just take a normal forest, add a bunch of rain, and call it a rainforest. Those are completely different types of woodland. Plants that live in tropical rainforests have evolved for millions of years to survive the high temperatures and constant rainfall. As just one example, many plants in rainforests, like the Amazon, have evolved to have waxy leaves and pointed tips that allow water to wick off, preventing them from being weighed down by the excess water. And so, if Zootopia did just take an ordinary forest and started making it rain, well, anyone who's overwatered a houseplant can tell you what will happen. Now, sure, if you're Zootopia, you could just tear down whatever forest used to be there and replace it with plants from another rainforest. But you know what you can't replace? The soil. See, rainforest soil is just built different. Typically, the soil in rainforests tends to be more acidic, and it lacks a bunch of nutrients compared with ordinary soil. But it's also very porous, meaning that it allows more water to just flow through it. So if Zootopia's plan is to just sprinkle sprinkle water over a forest and call it a day, even if they replaced every tree, blade of grass, and shrub, they'd still have to wrestle with the comparatively less porous soil and having the need for the water to go somewhere. And that would mean excess runoff into the nearby river and, of course, massive flooding into the densely populated Savannah Central. Unpredicted weather events? Check. Constantly coating your city with sand? Check. Accidentally flooding your lowlands in order to create an artificial rainforest? Check. Turns out trying to speed run changing the climate wouldn't be a smart idea. But of course, no place is more symbolic of Zootopia's effect on the environment than its central location, Savannah Central. Rapid expansion. Ironically, one of the biggest challenges that the city of Zootopia has to face is its own success. I mean, just look at Savannah Central from an aerial view. This place is huge. As the creators of Zootopia have come out and said, they took inspiration for the design of Zootopia from many different metropolitan cities, namely Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Brasilia, as well as the usual suspects you might expect like LA, London, New York, and Paris. The creators have also said that they wanted Zootopia not to feel like an American city, but a world city, a real melting pot where species of all kinds can live together peacefully. But of course, as you'd expect, trying to build a city that can house a variety of different mammals comes with its own challenges. For example, size. Zootopia needs to be accommodating for mammals of all sizes, from the tiniest mouse to the largest elephant. One obvious way this happens is through public transportation. As we see in the beginning of the movie, before Judy hops aboard the train to Zootopia, we see multiple doors open allowing various sized animals to disembark. Now, of course, that's a simple enough fix, and a necessary one for Zootopia to truly be inclusive. But it's not just public transportation where the size differences between animals can become a problem. Take Judy and Nick's cop car. The cars in this universe need to allow for both bigger wildebeests and rhinos, but also foxes and rabbits to operate them safely. So is that like a feature I can upgrade in this car? Or do they sell like separate cars for small, medium, and large creatures? And this would not just be true for cars, but for housing as well. Heck, there's an entire neighborhood in Zootopia, Little Rodentia, that is miniaturized so the rodent citizens can avoid getting stepped on. Everything that has to be created in Zootopia needs to be made with these different sizes in mind, which would complicate supply chains and just be a big headache for any product designers or city planners. And there would be a real problem with the population. See, we've talked about this before, but animals of vastly different sizes can take wildly different times to make offspring. Sure, it might take a rhino 15 or 16 months to have a child, but rats reach maturity at just 9 weeks old. Female rats can give birth to around 5 to 12 pups per litter, and they can have over 6 litters per year. That means that one pair of rat parents can, if the conditions are right, produce over 1,250 different offspring per year. Obviously, things might be different in the world of Zootopia, and any rodent characters might not want to have that many kids that fast, but this is something that the people running Zootopia would have to keep in mind. And there's evidence in this world that the populations would grow rapidly, all thanks to other mammals that famously breed quickly. Some would say, like rabbits. Let's take Judy's family and her hometown as an example. They don't technically live in Zootopia proper, but instead around 200 miles away in Bunnyboro. And the thing about this little rural town is that it's packed. We know from the movie that Judy has around 275 brothers and sisters, but during the first movie, as Judy leaves, we see this sign that keeps an updated tally of the entire population of Bunnyboro, and it says that there are 81 million people? In comparison, the most populated city in the world in 2018 was Tokyo, Japan, with 37 million people, and this is a rural town with 81 million. Obviously, the size difference of rabbits and humans would contribute to that, but oh my gosh! If that is how many people live out here in the sticks, what the heck is the population of Zootopia as a whole? Like a billion? And while that might sound ridiculous, that does track with how fast rabbits can reproduce in the real world. According to one calculation made by a professor out of the University of Miami, one single pair of breeding rabbits can create a colony of as many as 184 million descendants in just 7 years. So that 81 million is the more reasonable number compared to the real world. Factoring in the other rabbits and rats and all the other rodents that reproduce quickly, let alone all the other animals, Zootopia is going to become very cramped very soon if it isn't already. And judging by how densely packed the city already seems, where else can they build into unless they tear down on the other habitats they've worked so hard to build. But while unpredictable weather and predictable population booms are no doubt problems, they could theoretically be solved with a bit of ingenuity. It wouldn't be easy, don't get me wrong, but Zootopia has managed to come up with interesting solutions for their challenges so far. Perhaps they could overcome this. But there is another problem that wouldn't be so easily solved, and this one would be the end of the city: food insecurity. As we discussed many times throughout this episode, Zootopia is meant to be, well, a utopia, a place where all mammals, both predator and prey, are able to live in harmony. And all of this is only possible because, in Zootopia, predators don't hunt and eat prey anymore. Well, unless they're affected by the night howlers, but that was a whole thing, don't worry about it. Yet, this did get me wondering, if they don't eat meat, what do the predators eat? Like, sure, I get that some animals, like foxes, are omnivores, so they could easily switch between eating bunnies to eating berries. But what about the carnivores? The world of Zootopia is filled with lions and cheetahs and the like that have to eat meat to survive. They don't have a choice, it's how their bodies are built. But thankfully, once again, the creators of Zootopia were able to shed some light on how the carnivores get their fill. They've confirmed that the predators, along with eating plants and the occasional donut, do dine on fish and insects to get their fill of protein. I guess the bugs and fish aren't sentient enough to avoid getting eaten, huh? If so, that might be awkward. Anyway, at first, that seems like a pretty reasonable explanation for how the predators are able to get the meat that they need. But if you start to overthink this, to take this concept just one step further, the entire world falls apart. To understand why, let's imagine back to what this world was like before predators and prey lived in peace, shall we? The predators ate the prey, and the prey ate the plants, berries, and such. Circle of life, Elton John, all that jazz. Now, imagine what happens when the predators decide that they're not going to eat the prey anymore, and instead they're going to feast on the exact same food as the prey. And here's where the problems begin. Where, in the real world, someone like Officer Clawhauser would have eaten Judy, and Judy would have eaten the plants and donuts, now everyone is fighting over the small supply of donuts, plants, insects, and fish. That means that Zootopia is going to be going through their finite supply of food at a faster rate than before. In fact, we even see from the final trailer for Zootopia 2 that Zootopians have turned extracting fish into an automated process, presumably to keep the predators' appetites in check. But since everyone is now eating from that same pool of resources, suddenly food supplies are going to dwindle over time. Combine that with the fact that Zootopia's population is only set to explode from here, like we laid out earlier, more and more animals fighting over a smaller and smaller food supply. It's essentially like the predators were just wiped out of the food chain, which sounds like it would be good for everyone in the environment, but in an ironic twist of fate, removing predators from the food chain, like what happens in Zootopia, would actually make an environment less healthy. In fact, and this is true, it can literally affect the flow of rivers. Really? In Yellowstone National Park, there used to be a lot of wolves in the landscape prior to the 1920s, but when humans moved in, the wolves were considered a nuisance, and they were hunted down and removed from the park. That essentially removed the top predator from the environment, which kicked off a domino effect that, in an ironic twist of fate, made Yellowstone less hospitable to life. You see, the wolves played an important part in that ecosystem. They ate the elk, which in turn ate the grass. So with wolves, the elk's main predator, out of the way, the elk population exploded, which in turn led to the grass in the area being depleted. This led to more erosion into nearby rivers, making it dirty and less suitable for fish. Basically, the environment was destroyed by taking out the top-level predator. Now, compare that scenario to what happened in Zootopia. Not only have the top predators been removed from the environment, just like the wolves, but in turn, those same predators are now fighting for the same foods as the prey. That'd be like, instead of getting rid of the wolves, if the wolves also started eating the grass. It only serves to make a precarious situation much, much worse. And the absolute cherry on top of this disaster sundae, Judy and Nick, yes, our protagonists from the franchise, through their actions in the first movie, might have accidentally made this food insecurity issue even more dire. Remember how Judy and Nick helped break up that drug ring? Well, the drug was called Night Howler. It turned predators aggressive, but it also had a secret second use as a pesticide. That's right, in the first movie, we learned that Judy's parents, who are produce farmers also use the night howlers as a way to keep bugs off their crops. And so, after Judy exposed the city's government and revealed the dangerous effects of the night howlers, I wouldn't be shocked if night howlers became straight up illegal after the events of that first film. That would mean that the Hops family farm would have one less insecticide to keep their crops safe, and that means that if they don't find an alternative, there will be a decrease in the supply of produce they're able to, well, produce, leading to even less food being available and making things more precarious. And so, what's their solution? How do they fix this existential threat? What could they possibly do to save Zootopia from its doom? Well, if you look back at our example of the Yellowstone wolves, there is one option, but most of the people of Zootopia aren't going to like it. See, in the 90s, scientists reintroduced wolves back to Yellowstone, and they went ham. Naturally, with their predator back in the food chain, the elk population went down, which sucked for the elk, sure, but it led to the grass in the area flourishing once again. And all in all, it made the entire environment more sustainable. More or less, since all of the people of Zootopia are sentient creatures, they'd have to resort to cannibalism. Barry the bear hanging out with his friends Otto the otter and Randy the rat until he gets hungry enough for lunch. Obviously, there'd be some absolutely terrible issues that would come along with this reintroduction of the predator-prey system into this world. And I mean, it would also go against the entire point and message of the movie, but if you look at the scientific reality of the world of Zootopia set up here, they are going to have to find some solutions for their problems, because if things go south, if food supplies dwindle away, some old habits might start to rear their ugly heads. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Up next on Film Theory. What if every one of the worlds that makes up the happiest place on Earth was actually the same world?
Nichi-sanji has very graciously provided me with more content for videos. Like, it doesn't matter how much I tell them to stop, they just love giving me free content. Please, no more, Niji. I want to finish my Holophest video. Ah! So I hope you enjoy this as much as I lost my sanity making it. Who would win? Anna's birthday? A piece of paper!
I would win.
Oh God, don't look, Anna! Lost 3D to a fucking piece of fried chicken. Lost income to a piece of paper. Grim! Aye! Anna had a birthday sounds lame. It seems my superiority has led to some controversy. Niji sisters, do not forget who caused all of this. These three are the reason that 2024 is the year of total Niji death. Please respect everybody. Niji Sanji Yen. Practice being mindful of your words. This is coming from Anna. I repeat, this is coming from Anna. They didn't respect science, so they get no respect from me. Only 15% of people are truly self-aware. Here's how to change that. Oh yeah, because this was a really fucking respectful, wasn't it?
I try to get Etheria into a group call twice a week. I would be like, hey, you know, we should maybe talk. We should like get to know each other before, you know, like we don't really know each other, blah, blah, blah. They kept telling me that they were busy and they couldn't make the call. And then months down the line, I found out that like 3 of them would like voice call each other. And when I found that out, like, I'll be honest, I got a little like, I don't know, I just felt like, man, I'm just trying to be like a cool coworker. And I kind of took it personally and I was like, you know, and then I just started doing my own thing.
Reese is throwing us under the bus! Help me! Help! For the glory of Riku Tasumi! Don't forget to take your meds! You reap what you sow! God, it's the best year of my life! I'm crying! Help! Hyperventilating from happiness! There was a miso down you not attempting my tiny ass spot! An attempt! Oh no! Wait, what happened? So weird! I think anyone who uploads covers has never encountered anything like this before. Enter Sofkai!
Thanks,
Needs
Jeff.
more.
Let's just watch the Data Live collab stuff.
So this might be the first time I'm going to have a super fun time talking about the banner review, because it is the first time where I don't have to skip any ships because there are no elite ships on this banner. Welcome guys to another banner review. Today we're talking about the Date Alive ships. All 6 of them will be covered in today's video. So let's get started. So the first one are going to be the twins. I don't want to say their full name because it's going to take a while. So we'll just call them the twins because they're basically the twins. Light cruiser. Stats are going to be at 120. It is going to be 46, 17 health, 192 firepower, 340 on torpedo, 344 anti-air, 217 on the reload, 127 on the evasion, light armor, 35 speed, 163 on the accuracy, 80 luck, 156 on the ASW, and 11 on the oil cost. So across the board, nothing too fancy, about standard, I'd say. Gear efficiencies, we have 155 on the light cruiser gun, 140 on the torpedoes, and 110 on the anti-air. I think that's pretty good on the light cruiser guns. I think that's pretty high, actually. Could be wrong, though. It's been a while. But I think it's pretty good.
Clean.
Gear efficiency-wise, I think it's pretty good. Now, as for the skills, the first one's going to be El Kanaf. Oh, my lord. Woo! Okay. So we'll be talking about the we'll talk about both of them actually. So the first one is going to be every 8 seconds after the battle starts, performs a level 10 special attack. Using either Constrictor or Piercer, the first attack performed will be Constrictor, and then switches after each special attack. Damage is based on skills level. Every time the Constrictor and Piercer has each been used once, 3 seconds later, performs a special attack using Sky Raider. Alright, so I guess these are projectiles. I have to use them in combat. Again, I am very looking forward to using these girls in combat, so it is going to be very fun to use them. But I think these are just projectiles though, so it is nothing like super crazy, but it just looks nice. It makes gameplay very fun when we use collab fleets. Now, the boosted version, the augmented module version. What changes here is now you get a improved barrage, and when either Constrictor or Piercer activates, the following effects activates. Constrictor increases unit's main gun damage dealt by 15% for 12 seconds. Piercer increases unit's main gun shell velocity by 15% for 12 seconds. Every time they've been used once, performs a boosted special attack. So some buffs, some damage buffs, not too bad. And the last skill, Astral Dress, El Homen Sabaoth. I'm going to say Sabaoth. Oh my lord, these words they're kind of crazy. When the battle starts, increases units' firepower, torpedo, and main gun efficiencies by 20%. That's very good. And deploys a barrier, lasts for 20 seconds that can negate damage equal to 5% of this unit's max HP. If this shield is destroyed, or if it is activated during the duration runs out, increases ship's evasion by 15%, and reload and accuracy by 20% until the end of the battle. So that is a lot of sustain right there. You get a shield and you get evasion, and this activates every single battle. So she excels in combat where you have a lot of combat in them. This is going to be fun for Operation Sirens and for Strongholds. Very fun character to use. Let's go ahead and talk about her other characters as well too for Date of Live. But so far, I like the twins, very good, but let's talk about the other ones as of right now. So, Kotori, we have Battleship. Stats at 120 are going to be 79, 66 for the health, 447 on the firepower, 183 on the anti-air, 146 on the reload, 22 evasion, heavy armor, 25 speed, 62 on the accuracy, 72 luck, and 15 on the oil cost. So about average across the board. And in terms of efficiency, 145 on the BB gun, 200 on a light cruiser gun, and 100 on the anti-air. As standard as it can get. Now, let's talk about the skills. Astral Dress, El Homen Gibor. When this unit fires her main guns, activates an effect corresponding to which of the following modes Angel Kamel is in. I guess that's her form. I haven't watched in so long, guys, so please forgive me. But I think that's the case, though. One, Kamel fires a special barrage. Then Kamel performs an additional special barrage or a special attack.
Oh, you're down here?
Kamel starts the battle in this mode. Megiddo fires a powerful barrage. Oh man, there's so much procs in this. Again, I think this is gonna be one of the most fun collab fleets we're gonna get. There's a lot of procs, a lot of stuff going on. It is gonna be very, very exciting. When Kamel or Megiddo performs either the special attack or powerful barrage, inflicts a special burn to the enemy's hit by the attack for 10 seconds. Inflicting damage once every second. Damage is based on the firepower of that character. Okay, not too bad. Now, Ifrit's Might. During battle, decreases units' burn damage taken by 10% and decrease the duration of the burn by 3 seconds. When an enemy gets within a certain range of this unit, decrease this unit's damage taken by 15% for 10 seconds, 20 seconds between activations. Once per battle, when this unit takes damage that would incapacitate her, this unit does not get incapacitated and evades all damage for 10 seconds. Okay, so just buffs, defensive buffs, but it is what it is. Now, the boosted version, what did we get here? So the first part stays the same. Actually, she gets increased firepower and accuracy by 10% here. Okay, so that's good. Decreases units damage taken by 15%. Anti-air by 15%. Okay. And she gets a heal for 20% if she's about to sink. Okay, so some self buffs there. Pretty solid. And again, another solid ship right here. Lots of stuff going on. So very excited to use these in combat. Again, I'm not going to talk about these girls separately because I'm pretty sure they want to be used in a whole fleet. So I'll talk about the whole compromise of these at the end of the video to get like a general summary of how these ships are all going to be performing together. Now, the next one is going to be Kurumi. I think the fan favorite here. So this one is a light cruiser. Stats at 120 are going to be 3113 on the health, 163 on firepower, 392 anti-air, 199 on the reload, 105 on the evasion, light armor, 35 speed, 159 on the hit, 87 on the luck, 156 on the ASW, and 11 on the oil cost. So that's very low health right there. Very curious as to why they made it so low, but we'll find out shortly. Gear efficiencies, 130 on the light cruiser gun for two. I think the other one is also, no, this one's 1. Wow. So you get 2 mounts. That's actually pretty good. That's actually crazy damage. 70 on the DD gun and 110 on the anti-air. All right. So, time-eating castle. Increase this units. I'm just gonna say ships from now on. Increase the ship's firepower by 15%. When the battle starts and every 5 seconds deploys time-eating castle in front of this unit ship. Sorry, lasting 3 seconds. I think she can doppelganger. I saw her doppelgang in like the showcases, so I think that's what it is. Every second that an enemy is present within time-eating castle effect range, Kurumi gains 1 stack of time. Max stacks is 50. And based on the number of enemies affected by time-eating castle, the next time-eating castle gains the following effects. Decrease the speed of all enemies within the range by 40%. 2 extends its activate duration by 1 second. Sets the enemy, or 3, sets all the speed.
Can't do that when I'm on YouTube.
The enemy, or 3 here. Stats at 120.
I still need
7,009 on the health, 419 on the aviation, 309 on the anti-air, 145 on the reload, 49 on the evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 94 on the hit, 75 luck, and 13 on the oil costs. Straightforward, nothing too crazy right there. Gear efficiencies, we have fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo bombers. 140, 130, 130 for 3, 2, 3 on the loadout. Not too bad, about standard. Now, as for her setup, we got Metatron Cador. When this ship launches an airstrike, increase this ship's damage dealt by 8% for 8 seconds and activates Metatron Cador. Metatron Cador decreases anti-air, the evasion, medium armor, Light aircraft carrier. Stats 120. 6156 on the
Really?
health. 390 on the aviation. 289 on the anti-air. 193 on the reload. 49 on the speed. No, that's speed. That's evasion. My brain is thinking about Thanksgiving food right now, guys. I apologize. Medium armor, 30 speed, 92 hit, 73 on the lug, and 84 on the ASW with 12 oil cost at the end. All right. That's what I expect nowadays from a light aircraft carrier. Gear efficiency, we have fighter, dive bomber, torpedo, 135, 130, 130, 323 on the setup. As standard as I can get. Now, as for her skills, Astral Dress A. When the battle starts, increase this ship's aviation and accuracy by 15%. Every 10 seconds after the battle starts, 70% chance to summon Zadkiel and perform a special attack that decreases the speed of enemies hit by 30%. This whole setup has a lot of speed decrease. That's crazy. Now the boosted version, it what does it do actually? Performs a level 10. Oh, it's 100% chance to summon it. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, it's 100% chance to summon Zadkiel. Okay, yeah, you want to get the augment for sure, just to reduce the RNG. Now her second skill, Shuryon. When the unit, I'm gonna say unit, I don't care at this point, launches an airstrike, fires a special barrage, and deploys a barrier, lasts 6 seconds around every unit in your vanguard that negates up to 3% of their max HP. So like illustrious essentially. If the barrier is destroyed during its active duration, the recipient recovers 3% of their max HP. So you want to build fast here. I think the best way to build her is to build fast to get more shields up, get more restoration for the team. So I like it. Very, very good setup. Now, the whole summary of this setup. There's going to be very, very little sustain. Yoshino can heal, but you got to build her to be very, very fast to get as much airstrikes out to get a lot of procs for this Shuryon skill to keep your vanguard safe. Aside from that, this team has a lot of procs and a lot of speed reduction abilities. This is a very heavy speed reduction team. So what does that mean? It means a lot of your ships can run a wide variety of skill sets right here. Torpedoes are going to be very, very good. Fast guns are going to be very, very good. BBs are going to have an easier time hitting targets because everything is slowed down. Airstrikes can now go reuse days and whatever converging bombers if you want to, and everything's basically going to hit. When things are slowed down, it makes accuracy more potent, which means it's going to be a very good time to get as maximum damage output possible for this team. This is going to be a very, very fun setup. Now, as a whole, I say this is very, very good because you can run 3 Vanguards, Kurumi, the twins, and Toka, and 3 back guys, Kotori, Origami, and Yoshino. This is a very, very clean setup. I'm going to be working on this setup as of right now for an upcoming video. Overall, if you get all 6 of these, it's going to be a very, very fun setup. If you guys cannot get the full setup of this team, it will be somewhat okay, but it will be not nearly as fun and not nearly as complete as running a whole setup. Now, can you replace some of these girls? Yes, you can with some ultra rares if you guys want to, but where's the fun in that? Playing collab fleets is one of the most fun things in this game. Look at Atelier Ryza, really, really fun setup. This right here is going to be no different. I can assure you that's going to be a very, very fun setup. Now, keep in mind 2 things. We have a ultra rare banner at the end of next month in December. If you guys cannot afford this banner as of right now, you probably can skip because they're also missing Miku and that other girl from this banner. So I think it could rerun in the future. It may take a very long time, like 2 years or something, but it could rerun in the future. So my honest advice is, if you guys are low on cubes, I personally think this team is very, very fun. But if you care about metagame, you can go ahead and skip it and save for the ultra rare banner at the end of the year. Otherwise, though, I think this banner is pretty fun. I think it's one of the better collabs we've gotten so far in terms of variety and gameplay. Definitely worth pulling on. I'd say it gets an easy 8 out of 10 for me for a whole banner, and I'm gonna be working on my setup very, very soon. All right, so if you guys cannot pull for it, by all means skip it. Otherwise, for this banner takeaway, every ship here is a must-have if you guys want to run this setup. You need it. It's gonna be very, very fun. All right, Kurumi is also really broken as well too. I think she's the most broken one from this roster. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh no, he's rich. Off-brand. Yes, I love off-brand memes. Is it ready? Nope, not ready.
Hey, what's cracking, guys? I just got back from streaming the new Genshin freaking leaks. Inazuma looks interesting. That's definitely for certain. Yoimiya looks...
OMG, that's a long time ago.
But anyway, we're gonna be looking at off-brand memes with big, honking, funny stuff inside of it. I mean, what else would it be? Did you guys know that my analytics show that I'm losing subscribers every time I don't actually mention this in the video? That sucks. Can you stop that from happening by subscribing? Anyway, let's move on to the off-brand video now, all right? Beast Boy, can we have normal fluff tonight, please? No. Now turn into an octopus. I feel like I've seen this before. Maybe I reacted to it, but it's still funny. Beast Boy cursed with the fact that the girlfriend is always a freaking freak. You're not gonna have normal fluffy time anytime soon, man. You're gonna have to get in those tentacles now, mister. This is Sheila. Her mom married my dad, and now we live together in Japan under the same roof. She's nothing more than a spoiled brat, but dang, is she fluffy and hot? Oh, sheesh. And then Weeb's looking through our book here of Rule 34. If she's not blood related, she's free to be dated.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. If she ain't your real sister, it's okay to fist her. Maybe some of these rhyming quotes don't exactly go that well. I don't know if being hot makes up for the fact that you're a total jerkwad. Like, I think being a nice person is the way to go. Always try to be a nice person, chat. Like leaving a like. The Fluff magazine readers, when they open up off-brand dojins and they're like, oh, look at stuff. Oh God, it was too much. What is it? Fluff in reality, and it's just a little dribble. And then Fluff and off-brand just be like, oh. That's a brave dog. I had a really cursed thought. I was thinking of like Saitama and him being able to be like a one pump man. Would it like absolutely like shoot through like the room or something? Would it just like absolutely destroy a woman? Like, I don't know. How powerful is Saitama's thrust, so to say? Pretty sure there's an off-brand of that now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure I read something like that. Off-brand artists, we censor everything down there. And then off-brand girls being like, I've been wearing all this time for nothing. Darn it all. She throws her panties. Why is she just throwing her panties at a mirror? Why would you do that? You mean you don't just go to Japan and when you take off your clothes, everything's just not pixelated down there? I thought that was like a cultural thing, the pixelation. You telling me that you see things there? Study this, study that. How about you stop stressing over exams and study this body? And we've been like, yeah, well. It's important that you know the female body and not just wait until high school where the schools actually start teaching you about this stuff. It's usually a little bit important, you know? Like girls actually have more than one hole. They have more than one hole down there. It's not all connected. There's another. When I was little, I really liked Alien X. So innocently looked for Alien X videos and ruined my childhood. I wonder if the same thing happens when you look for Racer X videos. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into that. Isn't there like Mega Man X videos? Maybe would that cause issues as well? Back in Russia, we have expression. The best kind of pie is the one you make with someone. And we'd be like, yeah, boy. Personally, I like apple pie. I think it's fantastic. Although chocolate pie does have its appeals. What kind of pies do you like? Leave it in the comments. The entire comment section is now filled with cream pies. No. When when your favorite off-brand brand maker makes NTR. I will remember this betrayal. God, what is that face? I will remember this betrayal. How many holes does a human have? And Doja artists be like, I am inevitable. It's true, often you get things inserted into things you really shouldn't be inserting into. But I do know the fact that your body has many holes. In fact, it's got a lot of different pores and stuff on your face there, so yeah, I don't want to give off-brand dojins any more ideas now that I'm thinking about that one. The #1 fluff blocker, made for Redditors by Redditors. Get the app now. Quit fluff for good. And then me, never. Just never. Look, I understand that a little bit too much of this can ruin your life. If you're focused too much on it, you're not focused on anything else. Have a good life, meet people, maybe be productive. Like, yeah, that's bad. The whole thing of like it being absolutely bad for you in every single capacity, no, it can be healthy. It'll teach you about like things and it'll get your body prepared. It's fine. It's a good stress reliever too, man. Like, what else? See, Noble on here saying it's healthy to fluff for bait. If you want to fluff for bait, that is great. Maybe that's too much of a weird jingle. Me, who just turned 18 today, waving bye-bye to 17-year-old anime chicks I think are hot. Sorry, we can't do that anymore, otherwise the internet will think I'm a creeper. I never really get that, man. Like, what happens when like a kid that's dating a 17, they're both 17-year-olds, but then one kid has a birthday, it's like, well, sorry, you can't date her anymore. It's taboo. Do people really think like that? Are they really that dumb that they'd want to separate them until like the other girl turns 18? Like, what? So here we have Elf on the sign over here, but Dark Elf, as Elmo's looking at, is like, oh yeah, let me just snuff it up. Dude, I like elves, but there's just something a little bit more exotic about those Dark Elves. I don't know, man. So kind of nice. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's kind of nice. There is no bond that is stronger than family. Oh, this is so innocent, isn't it? If you recognize any of those anime, you'll understand how absolutely cursed and messed up we both are. I know all of them. Which is the worst one? Definitely top right. Gore and horror? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, people getting chopped up. Gore and action? Yeah, I could see that. It makes it a little bit more intense. And then gore and off-brand, like,
And hentai.
what the frig? You're like, that's not what I want at all. I mean, when you put perspective like that, that is interesting. So it's like, why is it okay in one but not the other? But the thing is here is like, well, one you're trying to get your jollies off to, and I'm usually looking at decaying bodies is not something that really gets the jollies off, is it? Here we have Rem riding Subaru. Ooh, and hey, I want to reach out to your car's extended warranty.
No.
Hey man, I bet you can ride that Subaru for miles, man. A little bit rough and bumpy sometimes, or do you think it's nice and smooth all the way? How'd you describe your ride with your local Subaru, huh? So here we have NCST mom, and North Carolina State mom, and incest mom. Yeah, which one is it there, Miss Mama? I'm gonna be real with you. I never would have guessed North Carolina State mom. Like, really? That's what you chose to abbreviate that to? NCST mom? Like, no. A girl like, and then the ladder comes down on top of her and it looks down. What are you doing, step ladder? Ooh, a goo. Again, I don't know if it's because I've seen this before or not. It's still funny to me. I might have seen that meme before. I don't know. I stood up for the Genshin stream because I was really excited. I probably should not have done that. It was okay. Oh. Oh, no, stop. I'm trying to get out of that car. Oh, golly. I don't know what he was doing, but it was apparently not right. You hear that, guys? That's why you shouldn't try to stick your hand into automobile waifus, okay? Transformer girls are not for human beings to enjoy, okay? I'm sorry. Don't stick your wiener into that Optimus Prime. Minecraft player simply feeds their animals, and the animals, for some freaking reason out here, be like, yeah, nice. Yeah, you know, the heart's just flying out of them, you know? What if you feed me? What if you feed me with your love and support and views and other things? Do you think hearts come out of me? Are they coming out? Am I coming out? When you die but reincarnate in an off-brand world with all your weird fetishes, but as the woman, oh, even better. I mean, they're your fetishes, so technically if you're the woman enjoying, maybe you'll be fine. Depends on what your fetish is. Maybe you won't be fine. When you need to pause your grape tentacle off-brand just because someone is at the door. The nerve of some people. Have you ever been in the middle of your business and then somebody knocks on the door real quick and you're like, oh no, and you just have to tuck it all the way and it's like, sorry, mom, gather a second. Go down. Clapping is easy, but choosing a video is not. As a wise man once said, yes. A foolish weeb limits himself to off-brand videos, while a wise man seeks himself the glory that is Dojin's infinite library within. I'm just trying to speak fancy. I don't know if it worked too well. Thirsty weebs waiting for the not SFW fan art to load, being like, what a tease. what a tease. It brings me back to the glorious days of dial-up internet, waiting for that one nice image of your waifu to load up. Oh, I can't wait. Oh yeah, I saw that tiny little thumbnail. This one gonna be good. Oh,
Let's do this. Good. Free. Let's do the free pull. Together. No.
Please.
Confirm. I mean, we have 66, 7. After 20. I kind of want to get her. Here, let's do a 10 pull. Who we got? Who? Number 4. Oh, you.
Let's go find something delicious. Oh. Nice to meet you.
Today.
I may be a mass production.
Oh. Did you get her?
I will sing an aria,
No, we got
and
Aria.
you shall be my conductor.
Who's Aria?
Leave it to me. Please. I may be a math. Don't you know? Ah, right. I promise. Let's go find.
been so cute. Probability. Snow White. We could have gotten Snow White. Oh, we could have gotten Little Mermaid again. Already 0.0276% chance against her. So our 4% chance went to her. Okay, next time. Once again, we did this. Let's go. Oh, it's blue. Oh, purple.
Is Florida around here?
And some memes. Is only normal right now?
It's gonna be good.
Oh, no,
Anyway, gamers, that's where I'm gonna end this glorious session of off-brand memes here. Honestly, your continued support is what makes this entire series possible. So again, big shout out to all of you. And the iTech Collisions is kind of fun. so I will see you beautiful sons and guns again next time.
I didn't hurt you, did I? Bigger the firecracker,
Come on, give me on.
what am I doing here?
I know some of you would fight wars for this.
Hot diggity dog.
Oh my goodness. There's so many Lappias there. How many snake girls are there? Holy, that's so many. That is the Lamia paradise out there. I guess you really want your snake wife. Raise your hands if that's what you guys want to do. If you hot diggity dogging out here. Anyway, what's cracking, guys? And welcome to another anime meme episode. I am your host once again, Noble of Lost Balls. And if you guys like some anime, hey, smash the like button. Stick around. I'd love to have you because I'm somewhat of a weeb myself. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm as much as a weeb as big as that like bar is. What the flick do y'all be doing in a shower for 45 minutes? And, yeah. Just standing in there. What else you be doing? I mean, come on, man. Like, sometimes you just like the hot water. You just stand there. You want to feel like an anime character. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Except, you know, wasting water, I guess. Nice. Squidward. Like, that is such a big... the Squidward thing is going back. Just one big dunk and it's done. Hey, yo. She actually has a walking animation as she's walking around in the big team. You know what? I respect that. That's technology right, baby. Is that why I've seen so many of my VTuber friends now having those walking animations so they can be put on the screen so they can actually walk around the car? I mean, it makes sense. I think it's kind of cool. Soon enough, we'll see like holograms of them actually interacting with people there. That would be crazy. This is the worst gacha pulling animation I've ever seen. Alright, so Shanks, you rip off his arms. Alright, what are the characters that we get in there? What's this final one? No shot, you're going through Ace. What? What? You put a clown on his face? No, stop. It's Budgie. Okay. There's no way that's actually for a game. There's no way that's real that the pulling animation for a One Piece game is pulling off Shank's arm. That's horrendous. So, Max SP, I've been making this for a long time. Okay. No. No. Stop it. Not with the stupid deer. You actually make him sing it. I don't need to see any more of the Sheila Hige. I don't need to see any more of the Admiral Sheila. I mean, it worked. You made it just go with this song and everything. That's pure brain rot there, I guess. Oh, Bochi. In the padded room, I see. Yes. She just bats her head against the padded. Okay. That's even better that she bats her head against the padded wall. That's a pretty good edit. These are some crazy edits, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I need to get myself in a padded room with some of the stuff I do with on YouTube. So 3RF with a comic of Wolf Sisters. Sister, I have returned. Viola, you've grown so much taller since the last time I've seen you. Okay, alright, I like this style. As they're looking at each other, okay. And they're wagging the tails. That's how you know they're happy. I like that. It kind of reminds me of that one, I can't remember. It was basically a bunch of animal girls and characters inside of a freaking school. And there was one normal human and he was forced to be in the animal school. And there was Wolf Sisters just kind of like this. I think it's very similar. Oh, someone even commented the anime of this girl, big wolf girl holding up pink-haired girl. Oh yeah, Seton Academy. There we go. It was gonna bother me all night if I didn't find this. Spy X family of Lloyd and Yor weren't freaking around, and oh, my man got the biggest line of Anya's trailing behind. My man, they be reproducing with all them Anyas. So many Anyas. You even have to usher people the other way to not contact with all the Anyas just coming forward. That's so many. There's so many Anyas. So Riz with helping beating the cuck allegations as Deku out here as the tire man. The tire boyfriend, all the hickeys and stuff all drained of everything. Hey, yo, I'm telling you, man, that mechanic girl literally gives him all the powers back and everything out here. You know, she makes the super suit for him, helps the brother out. She put people on him not once, but twice. Deku ended up with her. I feel like that canon. Honestly, I still think him and Ochaki still got together. Just by, you know, subtle hints. Deku on a random Wednesday after 8 years of teaching. Okay? Throws the case in there, gets all the armor. Yo, what? Why does that look so amazing? You can just fly around cities with that armor and just put that on. Why does Roblox look so cool? What is going on? Why am I saying Roblox looks cool? That looks so sick. I mean, he got a super suit and he's going around flying. That's so dope. He's not just a man. He's my baby girl.
Actually carnivores.
He's my baby girl. Yeah, man. That's what I need right now. 3 weeks without Ashley here. She's still in Germany right now. And I need someone to hug, man. Yo, guys, come here. All right, yo, give Double a like and a hug, man. He's lonely right now. All he got is his YouTube right now. Meanwhile, my nips are showing through my shirt. I can see them. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, if a girl's not wearing like a bra, she doing this for a reason. It's like she knows what's going on. It's like no girl's surprised. Oh wow, those I have those. Who would have thought those would show? Crazy. So my man out here saying this is what it's like to get a girl in big heels, and she is just towering above this man. And meanwhile, there's like another manga out here that's like exactly the same. This just giant girl. Look at that short king down here. My God, dude. It is so close to that right there. It is almost exactly, that's crazy. Even the outfit is very similar. I mean, you know, having a tall queen, it ain't all bad. You know, there's a reason why I made, you know, Lily kind of on the taller side of women. I don't know what I'm saying. When the best girl is too strong and the author needs to nerf them with blood relation, okay, all right. Oh wow, oh yes, oh my god. I would you ship the twins in Zenless Zone Zero, like that one, I'm just like, that's not, there's so many other characters that you could ship with like Weiss. Why the sister, that one there? Like Ruby and the Alia sister, that makes sense because they're actually do pine after their brother. This one though, everyone's just like, Noble, just give it time, it could still happen. The twins in Zenless Zone Zero, like that. Women, you know, I'm just saying. When the best girl is too strong and the author needs to nerf them with blood relation, and okay, all right. Oh wow, Alia. Oh my god.
Oh gosh. The bigger the fire, the better.
Like that one, I'm just like, that's not. There's so many other characters that you could ship with like Weiss. Why the sister, that one there? Like Ruby and the Alia sister, that makes sense because they're actually do pine after their brother. This one though, everyone's just like, Noble, just give it time. It could still happen. You think my father's proud of me? Is he looking down with a smile? Yeah, I'm gonna be real, he's looking up. That boy's better than heck right now. I don't know what to tell you, man. He's done some bad things, homie. Well, I mean, thanks for keeping it real. So Miko just yummy. That's how you feed your Miko? You just throw a freaking green onion just in there like that, huh? And she gotta eat something out there. The fact that they just shoved that right in her mouth is kind of weird. All the One Piece scars all stitched together with Zoro's feet just moving up
crocodile.
to his chest like that.
Got a crocodile, got a scar.
I mean, okay, I guess that's one way to put it out there. Making one giant scar, that's silly. That is honestly just silly. People who said One Piece dubs are bad are liars.
Emotions get the better of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. For the last time, giraffes are awesome.
Oh.
I love giraffes.
I don't want to hear it anymore. Giraffes are awesome. I love
I'm not into doing the healing myself, though.
Just so much intensity out there. Oh my god, okay. Good dub, I like it. I don't know, I just kind of like One Piece's dub. It's a bit silly, and that's honestly why it fits so well. I like some of the voices there. I just didn't like the censoring portions into it. Deku out there hitting the books, and okay, Otaru is okay. And then later on, he's with this other new girl. Okay, so he's now with the shark girl. I don't exactly know what creature that being green giant lady was. Nice. And she's pregnant with Beelzebub. I didn't think I would see that comedy anime ever referenced in a long time there, but okay. The hair is green, which is kind of strange because Bakugo's hair is yellow. I mean, Deku's hair is green, so. Here we have the Monogatari series, and apparently it's a really good horse, just kind of in the wrong. You know, that's the thing. Like, apparently the series is all over the place. They're doing prequels, sequels, and I just in the middle. I have honestly no idea how to watch that series, and I kind of watched, I think, the Bakemonogatari. I just didn't like it. I just wasn't into it. But I mean, some people say it's really good. Drake went with, all right, we got our night vampire lady looking at it, and PlayStation 2, let's go. It actually booted up. I know a few times that I sweat on mine. I think it was like during like
planning on attending class, Commander?
Xenosaga 3 CD that I had, and I was like, I really want to play it, and sometimes it don't boot up. But I was really sweating it, man. I went through 1-2 extremely large JRPGs, and I wanted to see the finale of it. He would say something like this, and it's Sanji saying, "Dear beauty crabs, leave her alone. Sorry you had to see that. I just get so passionate about That's pretty accurate from Sanji out there. I like the fact that he's incredibly good. Is there really not a Frankie one as Coca-Cola is doing Straw Hats one? How do you not have a Frankie and a cola bottle? This whole thing is having cola. We got 2 Lucy's. We could have got rid of 1 Lucy for our Frankie, okay? Let's got 3 Lucy's out here. Nobody can count. There's 3 of them. Similar out here with my parents at age 25. Let's buy a house and have a baby. Okay? And me at age 25. I'll never financially recover from this purchase and the little things it's super sick. Hey, yo, my man out here. I like the whole team coming together. Running a superhero business and doing exactly what he deserved. I really liked it. I thought it was smart. And even All Might the one presenting him with his powers yet again, saying he deserved it. Why? Like it was poetic. Okay? Just so the perfectly cut out scream is great. That can't be good, man. I would not want that right in the... Especially after some of the things I've seen, like the Beyblade anime, like some of that stuff's crazy. Those things can part the Red Sea. They're gonna part your legs apart like permanently, dude. Oh my god, I was speaking of 4 kids. We actually have a 4 kids. The Turkish gold medalist. There we go. He points his finger at it. He's Yu Yu Hakushoing out here with a spirit gun. Poor kids are so dumb. They did great with the rap and they did great with the voice acting, but they did some really questionable decisions. Okay. I'm Tony Stark and all the people. That's a really good All Might. I liked how all of them popped up like that. It stopped to that. You're not Tony Stark, okay? I didn't know they had like a live action My Hero. They got some great actors to do that. That looked so good. That actually is incredible. So me with men in anime, love them. Me with men IRL. All right, that's a common sentiment. And me with women in anime, wait a minute. Me with women, okay. We've got 212 likes on Twitter. Well, I think we gotta end it somewhere. That's one way to end it. So, hope you guys enjoyed some good memes as always. If you did, hey, stick around. I got plenty for you, man. I'm here to make you smile. If not, well, at least hope to see you do the operation. Again.
Leave the support to me.
Controversy. That's what happened. It's over. Let's see.
So it seems that there's been a lot of proving wrong recently, and I think it's absolutely great to see, because if you don't know, obviously recently a lot of YouTubers, including Iron Mouse and also Doki Bird, have been facing quite a lot of pressure, especially surrounding a lot of stuff like the Streamer Awards. Now the Streamer Awards, obviously if you don't know, is an event run by QT Cinderella, who a lot of people aren't very happy with at the moment, especially considering the lack of VTuber kind of involvement, right? Now obviously a lot of YouTubers, including Iron Mouse, Mori Calliope, and I think Chibidoki, and I forgot the other ones, but essentially there's a lot of other people as well that have been involved, right? But not as much as people were hoping to be involved in some of the other categories outside of the VTuber specific ones. Now obviously Iron Mouse is one of them, who has managed to pick up stuff like Best Duo with Cedo VA, which again is absolutely great. I think they are a great duo, so I'm hoping that they do win that, and of course have voted for them. But again, a lot of people have been commenting on it, including a clip of Aiden Ross, a very, very big streamer, right? Essentially talking about Iron Mouse and being pretty rude in the sense of saying stuff like, you know, he's probably talking to a man, calling her like a robot or whatever, which obviously was very, very rude, uncalled for. And many people have actually been reacting to that recently over on the VShojo Reddit. And Iron Mouse actually provided a response saying, lol, I'm either a boss or a man. Let me pull a quote from one of my faves. Maybe I do have a penis. Would it be so terrible? My community doesn't care and neither do I. And obviously, yeah, quoting Lady Gaga there apparently. And yeah, a lot of people have been saying Schrodinger's mousy, she's either king or queen and it doesn't matter. It says, or to quote one of my favorites, she's both king and queen, best of both things. Which, yeah, true. That last I checked, humans are not made of iron, so maybe she is a bot. A loud collective gas. Jokes aside, this was the best response she could have gone with. No one cares if Mousy really does have a blank because we aren't one ourselves, which I think is 100% true. I think it is great that, you know, this has been taken so lightly by obviously, you know, Iron Mouse and also Sea-Dog as well. He also put out a response, which is a little bit more serious, but again, I do think that, you know, I'm glad that she's just trying to, you know, play it off, kind of quote some things and yeah, just kind of move on, because I do think the comments from Ada Ross were, yeah, completely you know, uncalled for. I don't know why they made them at all. And obviously he started making comments about like them actually being able to sit together at the show, which obviously you know, as you know, Iron Mouse cannot leave, so that wouldn't be possible. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I voiced some concerns about the fact that he could be setting up his own stream awards in, you know, conjunction with like Asmongold and some other people, right? And I'm worried that potentially, you know, there could be a lot of stuff towards VTubers that wouldn't be included in stuff like that, which again, to be fair, might also be a good thing, considering what he has said about them in the past.
Oh, it looks nice. Good. What? Yes. Another yes. Nice.
We finally have some answers. The last Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer just dropped ahead of the movie's release in December, and let me tell you, this one actually gives us some closure on questions the fan base has had for years. Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory, the show that's creeping through an abandoned pizzeria in the dead of night. I really hope I don't get jump scared by the subscribe button. Ah, jeez, come on, man. I punched you right in the face. So at this point, you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. We're almost in the double digits of videos about it here on Film Theory, let alone the dozens and dozens over at our sister location, Game Theory. The first movie was a huge hit, and the sequel, coming this December, looks like it's continuing the trend and adapting some of the best parts of the Five Nights franchise, while also bringing in a lot of new ideas for the series. Honestly, I'm kind of excited about that. Like, if you're going to be making an adaptation of something in a different medium, use the unique ways of storytelling in that medium to add ideas while keeping the spirit of that original IP. Anyway, because the new movie is coming out really soon, December 5th, one final trailer released 1 month ahead of that, in the middle of a Wednesday while I was working on something else. The script for the 10th anniversary video on Film Theory, actually. Snap is making me delay that. How on brand for Theorist is that? Apparently, this trailer was leaked, in that an unlisted copy was uploaded and Spoofy fans found it before they were supposed to. I have to wonder if that forced their hand or if they always meant for this to come out on the 5th, but who knows at this point. So, of course, I had to drop what I was doing to try to break down this trailer, since we've done it for every other one in this franchise. Kind of like an ongoing series for us here on Film Theory. Anyway, loyal theorists, this trailer was interesting. Why? Well, I was shocked at just how much they showed here. Like, if you dig into what they show and the meaning of what's on screen, they answer a lot of questions that have lingered in the fan base for years at this point. It makes me really excited for what this film is going to do when it's fully released. But for now, let's break down this trailer to see what secrets are hiding in its animatronic window skill. Shall we? Grab your flashlights, friends, 'cause we're going into this haunted pizzeria. So we start with the shot of Vanessa waking up and Mike asking her about her dreams on their little date night from previous trailers.
So you wanna tell me about your bad dreams?
We then hop to a sequence where we see a young Vanessa running through her house. She's haunted by a vision of her father, William Afton. I speculated earlier that shots like this with Afton in this house were either a dream or a ghost, so I guess that's confirming that we are in a dream. We then see Vanessa hiding in this room in a closet or under a bed or something. A little bit later, we see Afton grab a knife in this dream, similar to the one that he uses as Spring Bonnie. If they are legitimately trying to give us an origin story for this knife, or why he uses a knife, I'm gonna lose it in theaters. In the present, Vanessa opens a closet in her apartment, or house, or whatever, and pulls out a box clearly full of stuff from her childhood. And guys, finally know what's in the box. Real talk though, this box looking similar to the mysterious one from the games had to be intentional, or at least a fun nod. I see you, Scott. I see you. Anyway, the next shot is Vanessa putting out a bunch of toys, almost as if she's displaying them. There's some marbles, a small book, it looks like a little mirror, and there it's playing. Yeah, you know, Mike's little brother murdered by Afton, the toy plane that he had in the first movie that we know was given to Vanessa. I have to wonder, are these all things from her childhood, or maybe something darker? Were these items taken from Afton's victims and given to Vanessa, like the plane was? That would be incredibly creepy and just totally in line with this franchise, man. And I also have to ask, why is she displaying them here? Like, it could be that she's trying to get through things emotionally or confront those bad memories, but maybe she's trying to summon a spirit, like the spirits of these kids, or maybe of her father? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense or if it would work with the story, but it did come to me and I wanted to share that idea. Over all of this, we hear Mike say,
"We're never going to move forward until you deal with something that's directly in your head."
This is interesting because it sounds a lot like what Vanessa was dealing with in Help Wanted and that whole era, where Glitch Trap was a sort of AI infecting her brain, all of that jazz. But instead of using the weird new era stuff with AI and making it all confusing, we're just using a lot of the paranormal reasoning from the earlier, simpler, and frankly more popular parts of the franchise as a jumping off point. Again, this is just another
What is this?
What's so funny?
I don't know, we're just like, it's the dead of night.
Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that you guys enjoyed the last video where we went to Red Lobster. I know I did. I had a lot of fun.
Interception. I love the... I can't see nothing. Oops. What happened here?
Welcome to ISOC. It's beautiful. It's completely useless. Scrapple song. I really want to know how much it costs. Oh, the most stuff available is Sapphire Cinema, and it will go for 230 bucks. And the shorter one is 150 bucks. Oh, thank goodness. I always wanted to get 250 bucks for a sock. Oh, someone already read the box. I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're using Apple people at this point will just a cock. Like, you deserve a wife who will have a boyfriend and you will be invited to their dates, maybe. Like, what are we talking about? So cool. It is so not cool. It's so lame. It is so lame. It's just like they cannot if they cannot come up with anything new and they literally just make a song.
Seriously, well, let's start hunting.
That's actually crazy.
I can see
In the brand new iCock, the cock chair.
Is this your way of asking me out?
That's hilarious.
Let's
though.
go and find everyone.
It's a goddamn socks and they wrote up the compatibility.
Just leave it to me.
Looks like you could use some
It's a
help.
sock.
How
What
about
do
it?
you mean compatibility? Oh my god. Oh brother. Oh, that's so awful. Oh, that's so terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you see anyone wearing this out in the wild, I think it's your legal duty as a citizen to bully them. Honestly, like you have to call them a retard and you have to bully them till they cry. Because this is if you're saving them their life on the long term. Ironically, and your grandma can make this for free. Exactly. You literally can buy like a thigh high and just like cut it like here, and that's all.
This is gonna make quite the impression. Let's finish the mission.
I don't know, but who the hell is going to buy it? If I don't see anyone with this, I'm going to bully them. I'm going to call them slurs. I will even make up some slurs just so that I can use them. That's how dedicated I am. American, surely not.
Tell me the story of victory.
Idiots will buy it? No. Surely not. My mom has knitted several pockets already. Bro, tell your mother to be very afraid. Because Apple might just come for you. It's got a profit margin of 95. 95! Brother, this... If you don't think that the profit margin is at least 98.5%, at least you don't think that they are making this in China. There are like at least 100 of barely 10-year-old little Chinese girls already making this. Yeah. It's already over there. Production cost is water. Yeah, exactly. Especially in the quantities they are getting there. It's crazy, man. Disgusting. I wouldn't call it the weirdest though. I would call it the most stupidest. China's too rich, probably India now. Listen, because I could pick up knitting, he will earn it out. Listen, if you guys will buy it for 230, I will pick up knitting and I will do it.
Tell me the story of victory.
Well, Stu, women don't have pockets. I still blame the patriarchy over them. Do I look like a moron? Well, I mean... No.
Let's finish the mission.
I would never say that.
These guys are quite insistent.
No. I have learned that I should never insult my audience. You guys are the ones who are keeping my boat afloat. I can buy plants and pants and lamps because of you guys, so obviously you're very intelligent. Surely. Exactly. And kill the plants. No. But then when you call them pay piggies, they oink for you. That's true. The oink, oink, oink. The little pay piggies. What if I'm into you insulting me? I'm I'm going to go and make an ASMR Patreon, and I will just like call you stupid for 30 minutes straight, but sensually. It's okay. I know. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I wanna be insulted, I can just call my mother. Like, she can do it for free. I don't think I would ever like pay for it, but don't tease us. Aww. That would work. Yeah. Damn, she's wild. All right. I actually already made a Patreon for my ASMR. It's just I am still planning it out. I wanna do it right. I wanna do it properly. And I wanna keep up with the normal YouTube things too. But YouTube is stupid. I love you, YouTube, don't hate me. YouTube is stupid, and it like starts demonetizing like very harmless shit with the ASMR, like just simple kisses. And I kinda hate that. Like, you can literally not say anything weird, and like it's not even a sloppy kiss, it's just like a soft kiss, just like a and if it's longer than like a minute, then it's just like demonetization. And then they just like slap something onto your channel and they suppress it, you know? Yeah. YouTube hates love and affection, unironic kissing longer for a bit. I know. Because YouTube is too dumb. I know. As an ASMR enjoyer, that makes me mad. It makes me mad too, because it's like literally there's nothing to it. I never do anything unacceptable, yeah. Like, if anything, I only ever just like threaten you with violence during ASMRs. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tie you up. I'm going to tickle you.
Doesn't suit me.
It does suit you.
Long kisses, what next? A crumb on a ankle.
Don't get any weird ideas.
That's not just ASMR.
I saw a video titled Beating You with a Cherry SMR.